You know, it's hard to believe that in 2016, that would be the last time we would see a Star Trek movie on the silver screen. But yes, Star Trek Beyond was the last film of the Kelvin timeline crew to be seen on the silver screen. So my question to all of you is this the end of the Star Trek for films? Will there be any more? Will we boldly be going onto the silver screen again into that movie theater? Well, the way things are looking right now, the answer is no. There are apparently aren't that many people interested in investing any more money into Star Trek, at least for film. However, there may be a way for Star Trek to come back onto the big screen and make it even more popular than it ever was. Now, let's be honest about it. When they reinvented the original cast and crew for Star Trek in the 2009 Star Trek, it started out with an interesting concept, but once we went over into darkness and then into beyond, people's interest in these films wavered. And now that we have Strange New Worlds out there trying to make a life for itself, we also had Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery. Does the Star Trek Kelvin timeline fit with the rest of the Star Trek franchise? And the answer is no, it doesn't work, especially if you go along with what they're doing with Strange New Worlds. And with this second season introducing Kirk as a young officer, it does not flow with the Kelvin timeline and Strange New Worlds. So the question is, in order to get movies flowing again, is there any way to make it work on screen? I believe there is an answer to this problem, and the best solution would be one that I think would draw so many people to the theaters and probably give Star Trek fans the adventure they want and give Paramount the one thing that they've always been desperately looking for in Star Trek: cash. To me, the answer is quite simple on how to fix this problem. Give Paramount what they want, give the fans what they want, and give Star Trek a new beginning, a fresh start, but at the same time, make everyone so happy. And the answer to this, my friends, is very simple. We have to repair the Kelvin timeline. Is that possible? Is it possible to fix the damage that was done when Spock fired the red matter into the sun's explosion, the supernova, which caused him and Nero and the Romulans to go back in time and alter history? Is it possible to repair this damage? Okay, so now that we have an idea of how this movie should be shaping up to be, what do we do? How do we deal with this? Do we stop Nero in the past, or do we attempt to stop him from interfering with Spock in the future, preventing them from even going back in time?
We can't, because if we travel into the future, from this point in time, it will be the future of this reality. No, our only chance to repair the present is in the past, at the point where the timeline skewed into this tangent. In order to put the universe back as we remember it and get back to our reality, we have to find out the exact date and the specific circumstances of how, where, and when.
So now we know we can't go forward in time because events that would have taken place, things that would have shaped the events that follow, like Vulcan helping to stop the solar flare from destroying Romulus, even though it didn't. The red matter device that was created by the Vulcans would never have been created because Vulcan's been destroyed. So the only way to solve this problem is we have to go back in time to the point where Nero emerges at the other end of the black hole. Now, I think like in Star Trek 3, the Klingons get a hold of information. They learn that there are two Spocks, one from the future, one from the past, and the Red Matter ship has information from the future. And the Klingons get a hold of it and discover that the timeline has been altered. Things that would be important to their history has been pretty much destroyed and never happened. So they come up with a plan to repair the damage. The Klingons begin to assemble a massive fleet to travel back in time to stop Nero's from destroying the Kelvin and affecting the timeline. But Starfleet learns about this fleet and attempts to stop them because they believe that the fleet is off to conquer some other part of the Federation, not knowing the ramifications that have occurred in the Klingon timeline as well. And of course, the USS Enterprise comes warping in to try and stop the Klingons. Along with the rest of the Starfleet, a massive battle begins. And along the way, Kirk and Spock learn of the Klingons' plans to go back in time and repair the timeline. Joining forces, the Klingons and the Federation destroy Nero's ship, repairing the timeline, restoring it to normal, and we can continue on some great adventures. Now, when you consider that after Star Trek the Motion Picture, we jumped several years into the future, into the Wrath of Khan, so we have plenty of Star Trek to still tell between Motion Picture and the Wrath of Khan. So there's plenty to go on here, and I really think this is a good idea. So just throwing my little theory out on how to repair the films and how to keep things going, because I really loved watching Star Trek on screen, and it was something I looked forward to. At least every 2 years, there'd be a good Star Trek movie coming out. So tell me what you think. I know that this idea may not be the greatest. I think it is, honestly. I like the idea of the Federation and the Klingons and maybe even the Romulans coming together to try and repair the timeline. So Vulcan's back. Everything is back to normal. Klingon history, Federation history. So tell me what you think about this. Do you like this idea, or do you have ideas of your own? Drop your comments below. Let me know, my friends. Until the next time, God bless.